I'm Amy Marks, Head of Industrialized Construction Strategy and Evangelism at Autodesk. Many of you call me the Queen of Prefab. McKinsey predicts 45% of the entire AEC value chain of $13 trillion will shift away from traditional process in the next 15 years. 15 years! The driver being prefabrication of single and multi-trade assemblies, and growth in volumetric modular will follow. In the last 3 years, 2/3 of general contractors and 3/4 of mechanical, electrical, and plumbing subcontractors have experience in these unseen spaces behind the walls, above the ceilings, where multi-trade assemblies are already being installed. But what about the architect? We recognize this hasn't been easy for you. Architects and building engineers have a critical role to play in the new possible by leveraging design for manufacturing and assembly, or more commonly known as DfMA. Let's start with the 101. We have a language problem. First, let's talk about the prefabrication continuum. It's important to understand when we talk about prefabrication and DfMA, we're not just talking about the modular boxes that you've probably seen in residential or hospitality construction. In reality, prefabrication is much broader. It's a continuum of building elements, including single and multi-trade assemblies. DfM refers to the design choices you make to enable ease of manufacturing. These choices reflect specific manufacturing rules that maximize productivity within a factory's existing process and supply chain support. DFA are the design choices you make to enable ease of assembly, focusing on the number of parts to assemble, shipping, handling, and ease of connection and installation. Combined, this is DfMA, the design methodology that enables prefabrication. With thousands of assemblies and suppliers, we cannot continue to expect designers to do this by hand, just with the information in their heads. It needs to live in the technology. Then we can apply machine learning, AI, and computational design, truly empowering designers and the makers to focus on their craft and together connect the design-make process. This new possible requires an industry shift from a project to a product-focused mindset. In the same way I can order a red shoe, size 8.5, from my phone and have it shipped right to my door with scope, cost, and schedule certainty, we need to enable a platform that connects designers to manufacturers in real time. In order to achieve transformational change, we have to stop designing one-offs. We can only optimize prefabrication when products are repeatable and they're defined, managed, and ultimately optimized. We're working with some of you already, and we want to work with more of you to map out workflows for these prefabricated products, to identify gaps and understand the areas for improvement that you need to be more effective using them in design. When we combine productization with technology, the designer is finally free to set the parameters of the generative design process of those spaces behind the walls and above the ceiling. The technology does the hard work of choosing the best design options in the most efficient ways, freeing you up to get back to doing what you love, finding creative solutions to complex problems, and the artistry of true architecture. So what can you do right now? If you make something, you need to productize your offerings. If you design something, you need to use those products in your design. And if you're an owner, you need to demand that this happens. We want to use our collective voices to make this happen. In fact, designers are already giving us a glimpse into what's possible. Since the late 90s, Bryden Wood has been a pioneer of DfMA. For years, they've partnered with Autodesk to help us craft our offerings to align with industry trends and opportunities. They are making massive strides towards closing the gap between design, construction, and manufacturing. They've even created their own open source application for residential construction in London.
Hi, I'm Jamie Johnston, Director and Head of Global Systems at Bryden Wood. We're an international company of architects, engineers, technologists, and analysts working for a better built environment. Bryden Wood and Autodesk has grown beyond a traditional vendor-customer relationship. Our firm, which was quite small when we started out, had the opportunity to help shape the digital workflows and modelling capabilities available with digital tools, including Revit. Autodesk has given us a louder voice and helped build the momentum around DfMA. And I can say with absolute confidence that the time for a paradigm shift in the way we design and build is now. DfMA starts with design early on in the construction process, and to achieve that, the digital and physical aspects are both equally important. Connecting a digitalized design process with physical productization is the key to bridging the gap between construction and manufacturing. In terms of physical components, we're now getting significant traction with our platform approach to DfMA. This distills everything we've learned over the years into kits of parts or sets of components that fit together in well-defined ways to produce products or structures very efficiently. The platform approach involves using digitally designed, highly customizable, standard components across multiple types of assets. Applying these components wherever possible, we minimize the need to design and construct with lots of bespoke components. The auto industry is a great example of this concept in action. It uses the same basic chassis, materials, and processes to make variations of the same model. We're applying this to construction right now and are seeing dramatic results. Across our projects, we're seeing benefits in terms of speed, so 30% faster, cost, around 33% lower capital cost, productivity, 50% labour reduction, sustainability, nearly 20% reduction in embodied carbon, and health and safety, with no work at height, drilling, scaffolding, or handling of concrete, for instance. However, this physical approach isn't enough on its own. It needs digital solutions and software to unlock its potential. In partnership with the Mayor of London's office, we created a free open source web app called Prism, which enables designers to use a DfMA approach to quickly generate residential building configurations and layouts. Prism is intended to help more designers engage with DfMA, accelerating its adoption. Prism is built on a detailed geospatial map of London and incorporates a whole host of local information and planning rules. Linking the physical and the digital, we've developed an integration with Revit using a standard library of our platform components to help rapidly automate the creation of the model from Prism, enabling any final design tweaks to be made before facilitating construction planning, procurement, and the documentation process. With this level of integration, designers can go from concept to BIM in minutes, incorporating architecture, structure, and mechanical electrical services. A digitalized platform approach to DfMA certainly changes the way we design by introducing optimization and automation to the process. It does not take away the value of the design. If you want to apply manufacturing and assembly, you still need design. Combining standardized physical components with a digitalized process allows designers to automate high-quality documentation and the rapid creation of a holistic and data-rich BIM model. This means us designers can spend time doing what we're trained to do, focusing on the value-added elements of design, bringing beauty and personality to our projects, and focusing on the user experience, and less time on documentation. We at Bryden Wood are great believers in collaboration and communicating our approach. What we're doing is not proprietary. It's all about building momentum in the industry and inspiring others. We need to co-create with other designers like you to share findings, successes, and challenges. Everyone is affected by construction. It's your road, your hospital, your school. And considering that construction is responsible for 39% of carbon emissions globally, we have a moral obligation to make this shift for everyone's benefit.
It's always inspiring to see customers like Bryden Wood pushing the boundaries on what's possible with DfMA and prefabrication. So where do we go from here? At Autodesk, our goal is to work with you, our customers and partners, to make DfMA and prefabrication easy and accessible. First, we want to make these workflows easier for you. Second, we will continue to evolve our design tools to support DfMA workflows. But most importantly, we're creating a collaborative industrialized construction community as a key resource for you. Transformational change can't happen without learning from each other. And we need to centralize this learning so others can stand on the shoulders of what's already been done. It's not just a community of builders. It's a community of all of us that design, own, build, and operate, and the technology that supports it.